Hello and welcome to the Critter and the Butterfly YouTube channel. I'm Matt, the Critter part of the duo. Today we're doing another one of our How We Did It videos. This one, we're working on our water heater. It works great on propane, but on electric, sometimes it's like lava coming out, sometimes it's room temperature. It just can't make up its mind. So we're going to get into it and see what's going on. So sit back, relax, grab a snack, and check out How We Did It. Here we are at our water heater. It's a Suburban SW6DS gas and electric unit. It works great on propane, but it's been giving us intermittent hot water on electric, but not tripping any breakers, so it's going to get the treatment. The tools we're going to need for this adventure are a 1/2 inch ratchet, 6 inch extension, an 1.5 inch socket, an 1 1/16 socket. In 1/4 inch we've got a ratchet, another 6 inch extension with a 1/4 inch socket, a 7/16 wrench, a Phillips and square bit screwdriver, water pump pliers, a pipe wrench, and some Teflon thread tape. Another tool that's really important to have when you're working on electrical or trying to track down those gremlins is a multimeter. That's a must-have in your toolbox. So let's see what's going on and what we're going to do to fix it. We have an intermittent leak from the pressure and temp relief safety valve, so that's going to get replaced. We'll pull the anode rod, which is right here, to see how it's doing, and we'll remove the AC heating element and take a look at it. It's located behind this cover. That's where our problem most likely is. The anode rod gets removed with an 1 1/16 socket. Sometimes they can put up quite a fight. The safety relief valve will remove with a small pipe wrench. It's a bit of a pain, but the handle will fit between the lift arms. The AC heating element is a little more involved. These two fittings need to be removed to get this short gas line out, and this nut at the bottom of the manifold needs to be removed. Then the manifold needs to come out to get access. After removing the cover, an 1.5 inch thin wall socket will handle the removal. We're also going to pull the cover on the 12 volt DC and 120 volt AC limiter resets. That way you can see what they look like. So we've loosened up the safety valve with a pipe wrench. We just slid the handle of the pipe wrench between the two lift arms here, and it eventually came right out. It just unscrews, and there it is. And they're easily obtainable at home improvement and RV shops. I've already used the 1 1/16 socket to loosen up the anode rod. It just unscrews, and out it comes. There's our anode rod. It is good for another day, so we will reuse that. Okay, next we're going to use a 7/16 wrench to pull this fitting and this fitting, and underneath here is a 7/16 nut that comes out, and this whole thing comes apart. All right, we have the gas line out. We have the manifold out, and we're going to put the nut back on it so we don't lose it. There we go. Now we're going to use a 1/4 inch socket to pull the screws, 3 of them, out of this cover, and also over the thermostats and resets. Here are our limit switches and resets for our water heater, DC and AC side. And down here is our heating element. The heating element is next to come out. We're going to remove the wires off of this heating element. And they just unscrew like a regular electric appliance. And we'll move them out of the way. So we tried our shower valve tools, used the biggest one we had, and it's a little too small. So it's time to break out the big guns. This is 1.5 inch thin walled shallow socket. And this little guy fits right on there. It misses the edges and sits right in there after a little bit of coaxing. It'll drop right in there. And all I've got to do is just take a 1/2 inch ratchet with an extension and out it comes. It's a very tight fit. To get that out of there. Okay. Because the clearance of the sheet metal is really close. But it comes out. There we go. And then out it comes. And okay. I think I know why our water heater wasn't heating very well. This thing is aching. So we've ordered a new one. It should be here shortly. I'm surprised it was working at all. So it's time for a new one.
Did you ever wonder what the inside of a Suburban water heater looks like? Well, let's take a look around in ours. Interesting.
So we have received our new heating element, and it looks like that. But the one that came out of it is this one, and it looks like that. So a little bit longer. Now they say it'll fit, and it's supposed to be a perfect match, but I'm just going to find out to be sure. So I've got a piece of bamboo. Just going to slide it in the opening. See how far we are to the back wall. Puts us right about there. And if we match this up, looks like we've got plenty of room. So cool. They said it would fit, and now for sure it will. So because it's got this rubber gasket on it, you don't have to worry about Teflon tape. And it just goes back in the port it came out of. And because there's so much of it inside, it's difficult to get it to thread, but it'll go. After a little wrestling, we got it in there. It's on the seal, so we're just going to give it a little extra. Snug. And that is installed. So the heater doesn't really care which wires go to where. So the white wire is going to fit good down here. And the black wire's going to fit good up on top here. So that's where we'll put them. We'll just take our Phillips screwdriver, pull the screws out, and install the wires. So there they are, all nice and happy. You just tighten them down. You don't have to go Hercules on them. Just snug them, and you'll be in fine shape. When you tighten the fasteners up, remember that you're working with copper and you're going into a thin sheet metal. So get them snug, but don't go crazy on them. Otherwise you'll strip them out and have all kinds of fun. All tight. Just watch out for this wire. It likes to sneak underneath that cover. Alright, let's get this little manifold back in here. There we are. Put the nut on it. Right, leave that loose. Grab our gas line. There's a short one and a long one on this one. There's a short one, here's a long one. On this one, the short one goes into this little manifold here. It'll slide in there. Won't make him tight yet. And this long one will go up in that valve, that solenoid right there. There we go. And all we have left to do now is tighten them up. Once we turn the gas on, we'll spray a little dish soap and water solution on these to make sure no one's leaking. Now we'll finish putting this thing back together. First we'll work on the anode, and then we'll work on our pressure relief valve. So to start, we're going to give them a little Teflon tape to make sure that they don't leak. And then we'll give our overpressure valve a little treatment. There we are. Okay, they are both ready to go in. There's a little bit of a twist to it. Once we put some pressure to it, we'll find out if we get it tight enough or not. So this is the fun one. There's not much room to work up here. Goes in easy enough. When it's time to tighten it, that's a whole other matter. There we go, tight and in the right direction. So to get the valve out, we had to use a pipe wrench. It's the only way it was going to come out because it was so tight. But the water pump pliers worked a whole lot better getting it back in. They don't have to be cranked down, they just have to be snug. We'll check that guy. All right. Putting the sheet metal on is kind of tricky because the screws are so far back, but it goes. Now we'll just fill it and fire it up, check for leaks, and we'll be done.
We've had a successful test with the propane. The water comes out like lava. There's no leaks, everything is dry. We checked our gas fittings and those are fine, no leaks there at all. So now it's time to check the electrical side. So we have the 30 amp hooked up for the trailer. If your trailer is so equipped, there's a switch hiding behind the manifold for the gas. You just flip that switch and it energizes the electric element in the water heater. So now we'll let it run and see what happens. So here we are, back at the water heater. You might wonder why I've got it apart. Well, it failed the electrical element test. Electrical element is not working. I have found out why it is not working. Let me hook this up real quick. I've got the switch on right now, and we're going to test the over limit protection, over temperature protection. So I've got 121 volts there. We can test the switch operation, turn the switch off. I now have a crazy meter, turn the switch back on, and I've got 121.8 or so, 122. Go to the top. I should read the same voltage, but I'm not. I've got 2.4. It's not warm. This is not acting like it's tripped. Same with that one. This is the 12 volt side. It's acting the same way. But it looks like when that element finally took a dive, it took this out with it. And of course, if this is not working, this will not get power.
because it goes through here, and then to here. So we're going to replace our little over limit protection, and that's a fairly easy job to do. So we shall remove the power. There we go. Just slide those little guys off of there. There we are. Then we'll use our 3/8 socket and remove it. The power is disconnected to the trailer, so everything is safe in here. I don't want to drop this nut. There we are. Success. And out we come. That's it. Yeah, I'd say that's a little toasty. I couldn't see this when it was in there, but now I can. Here we are. Let's put you in front of you like that. Yeah, a little toasty. So we will replace this with a new one. We have the new part, and there's your number right there. And here's your part. Looks just like that little guy right there. So we will remove this little 3/8 nut, not drop it. And then this just slides in. Kind of sort of like that. And this is a nut with a built-in lock washer. So we make sure we put the teeth toward the part. Okay, let's try it with the socket. Oh yes, much easier. The socket, let's straighten this little guy out. There you are. Grab a ratchet, give it a little bit of a twist. Make sure he's not going to wander off of there. There we are. Just snug it down. And we'll put these guys back on. And the power is off. There we go. So we are now attached. All right. I'll go and hook the power up and make sure we're getting juice everywhere. There is water in the tank, so let's give this a try. Okay, I've got the 30 amp hooked up, so we'll put power to it and test it. Power there, and power down there. So that is a successful repair. We'll put it all back together. Let it heat up. And and make sure everything is happy.
So there we have another successful adventure into Trailmanor maintenance and repair. All the covers and aluminum are on. The gas has been reinstalled and tested. We've got hot water from propane and electric, so it looks like we're camp ready. And that is how we did it.
Hey, that water heater tried to get sneaky on us, but it didn't stand a chance with a multimeter around. If you've got anything electrical, one of these is a must-have in your toolkit. Well, thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. We appreciate it. If you liked it, don't forget to give it that thumbs up there down below the video. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you'll be notified when we upload anything new. Thanks again for stopping by, and safe travels.